Alrighty, what's up guys? True Combo here, and welcome to my UFC 325 predictions. Now this video is going to be a bit more off the cuff, more freestyle, give you some thoughts on some picks that I'm thinking about, but I'm going to make a more official video detailing my picks for the main card, and also some prop bets that I might bet on as well, but those haven't really come out yet, so that video will come out perhaps later Thursday, Friday. And then yeah, we're just gonna focus on just off the cuff kind of picks, kind of what comes to my mind. I have looked through the card, except for I can't lie guys, if you guys are here for Kim Sang-wook picks, I'm sorry guys, because the bottom half of this card is just straight up UFC, road to UFC fodder, and I don't know any of these guys. I really do wish them the best. I hope, they get contracts and all that, and maybe we'll hear them in the future. You never know. But we're gonna start with Jonathan Michaela versus Oban Elliott. I believe this fight is pretty close on the odds. I'm gonna take Oban Elliott. I feel like he has the better experience, and I feel like he's gonna come in a little more hungrier. I think he lost his last one, and his last two got canceled. Let's just check that real quick. And yeah, he lost his last one, and then yeah, he canceled. This fight got canceled, and then also his fight with Hamiz right before his loss got canceled. So this guy, he's coming off a loss. This fight also got canceled. I feel like this guy is desperate to get back in there and really just put on a performance. I do think Oban Elliott is skilled enough and does have enough experience to at least give Jonathan a good run for his money. Jonathan, I mean, he could submit Oban, but I don't know, man. I think Oban is not going to get submitted that easily. I think it's going to be a good fight. I mean, the odds do have them pretty close. I believe it's almost, oh, thanks, Ad. I believe it's almost, yes, near even. It's pretty much a pick 'em, guys. I'm going to go with Oban Elliott. Next fight, you guys probably just saw it, but Jacob Malkoun versus Torres Finney. Jesus, this fight is gonna be. This might be worse than the Josh Hogan fight last week. This is gonna be middleweight Josh Hogan versus Denzel Freeman, guys. I don't know, man. Torres Finney, man. I do not. I like the guy. He's funny, and he definitely has a great way of promoting himself. If he wins, I mean, that would be a great story. I mean, this guy had to win like a million times on Dana White's Contender Series just to get 12-12, bro. I think Jacob, if this fight starts standing, because these guys are have kind of a, I don't want to say a wrestling base, but they kind of have a wrestling clinchy kind of style when it comes to how they game plan in their fights and how they fight. I think if it stays standing, I think Jacob's gonna get the best of Torres in terms of just damage. I don't think this fight is gonna end by finish, and if it does, I don't know. I feel like it's gonna be like perhaps maybe Torres. I don't know. I hope he has he has good conditioning. He doesn't get tired from the constant wrestling exchanges, because I feel like there's gonna be a lot of wrestling exchanges just for defensive wise. I feel like Jacob is really gonna try and keep this fight standing. I don't know if he's gonna try and wrestle Torres, to be honest, and I really hope not. I hope this fight is, look, that Josh Hogan fight was terrible. It was in slow motion, but it was entertaining. So I hope it's not a wrestle clinic, and it really is just an entertaining kind of striking with some mixing in of the takedowns to better implement the striking, as instead of just a kind of ragdoll matchup. Not that I hate wrestling, guys. I don't like ragdoll matchups. No one likes that. All right, stop acting like you're a casual just because you like wrestle humping. Okay, thank you. Anyways, Cam Roston versus Cody Brundage. Man, the Marauder Cody Brundage versus Cam Roston, if I should say. Yeah, I'm gonna take Cam Roston by knockout. I think Cam Roston looks pretty slick, man. I'm gonna take him by. I think this is kind of like a showcase matchup for him. Yeah, I'm gonna take Cam Roston, man. Junior Tava versus Billy Elecana. I think Billy Elecana can. I don't know about knocking Junior Tava. I mean, Junior Tava, you never know. He does have a puncher's chance, but I really honestly see Billy Elecana winning this fight. I honestly see him maybe submitting him, if I'm being honest. If you're a one-dimensional fighter, you will lose to Junior Tapa. If you're at least a decent, well-rounded fighter, you'll beat Junior Tafa. That's my opinion. Oh God, this Australia, you have your crying baby versus hydrogen bomb, man. Oh my God. Quinlan Southkill versus Jamie Malarkey, man. Poor Jamie Malarkey, buddy. Sorry. I think Quinlan is gonna knock Jamie out, man. You only give knockout artists or people with good striking Jamie Malarkey if you want a highlight reel in their face to pain intro, bro. So I don't know. I hate to say it, but yeah, I think Jamie Malarkey is gonna get knocked out by Southkill. So let's just move on. Rest in peace, Malarkey, guys. Tai Tuivasa versus Taliesin Teixeira. Now, guys, this might be a hot take, but I think Tai Tuivasa wins this fight. This is giving me, they gave him a Brazilian Stefan Struve. If Taliesin Teixeira, dude, if this guy is getting knocked out by Derek Lewis, and we saw his most recent performance, this guy did not look like a world beater. This guy lost because, you know, his knees gave out, you know, or maybe it was that oil that they had on the canvas because everyone was slipping and sliding that night. But I don't know, man. Some reason I feel like Tai, he's pretty hungry right now. You know, he hasn't been doing too hot. This is giving me like, even though Tai Tuivasa fought Stefan Struve, this is giving me Mark Hunt versus Stefan Struve vibes. Anytime I see an Aussie versus a tall, kind of heavyweight opponent, I think to that moment where Mark Hunt just broke this guy's jaw, man. And I could see that happening here. It's heavyweight too. It's not like it's a light. If it was a lightweight or featherweight bout and it was kind of the same thing where it's like kind of a short fighter versus a tall fighter, you know, I feel like tall fighters have this bad habit of just kind of keeping their chin up sometimes. And Tai is like, if you do that against Tai, you're gonna get knocked the hell out. So I'm gonna take Tai Tuivasa by knockout, actually. You know, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But if you're getting knocked out by Derek Lewis, I think you're gonna get knocked out by Tai Tuivasa. Okay, it's heavyweight. Okay, this right here. This is literally a Mortal Kombat matchup. I want to see the odds on Hoofy versus Fiziev, because these are, yeah, near even odds, guys. This is one of the, I think this is the hardest fight to pick besides the main event. I think this is the hardest fight to pick on the entire card, in my opinion. Fiziev will mix it up more than Hoofy. I feel like if someone were to implement a grapple heavy style, it'll be Fiziev. Or not, I want to say grapple heavy, but mix it up. It'd be Fiziev. But man, if Hoofy is able to kind of mitigate that and just kind of keep the fight standing, keep his range, keep Rafael at bay, keep him at distance, Hoofy I think will take this, and I think he will knock out Fiziev, man. But Fiziev is not a slouch on the feet either. That's another issue. If it was like a Renato Moicano taking down Hoofy, of course he'd be in trouble, but standing up, you know, Hoofy would kill Moicano. But Fiziev is not Renato Moicano, ironically, because Fiziev unfortunately knocked out Renato Money Moicano, which is, sorry Renato, but yeah, man, this fight is very tough to pick. But look, I want to say Fiziev, but my heart is telling me Hoofy, man. I really feel like Hoofy is just a more slick striker. I'm not saying Rafael Fiziev isn't slick. I think this is, like I said, this is gonna be a Mortal Kombat, like this is gonna be a Mortal Kombat matchup with X-rays and everything. These guys, this is gonna be a war. I'll say this, and then I'll make my official prediction later on this week because I'm just so tied up. Hoofy by knockout. If it goes to decision, it's Fiziev, but way too tough to pick right now. All right, second fight on this card is gonna be Dan Hooker versus Benoit Saint-Denis. Or I should say second last, but Dan Hooker is too tough for his good, man. What is he doing, man? Arman and then Benoit Saint-Denis. At first, when I saw this matchup, I was like, this could be like a Dustin Poirier versus Benoit Saint-Denis like situation, but Dustin Poirier, we know, is a different animal. We love Hooker. He's a dog. No, no shame in that. Like, that's that is undeniable that he's a dog. But man, that only takes you so far in this sport, unless you're Justin Gaethje. So I think Benoit Saint Denis, he's gonna submit Dan Hooker. I don't think, if the fight is standing, it's gonna be a war. And Dan Hooker does have a really good chance because he's tough. And I don't think he can get... I don't know if he can get hurt by Benoit Saint Denis. Like, Dan Hooker does have a chin on it. Like, the only people hurting Dan Hooker is, like, fresh Michael Chandler right, out the gates from Bellator going into the UFC. And a 145-pound Arnold Allen after a horrendous looking weight cut that Dan Hooker went through. That's the only 2 times that I've seen him get really beat up. And if your name's Edson Barboza, but he was too tough for his own good in that fight. So I'm gonna say Benoit Saint Denis. I really do see Benoit doing some damage on the feet and then just kind of finishing this fight off with a rear naked choke or something. Probably takes Dan Hooker's back, or forces Dan Hooker to kind of turn away, and maybe he's too tough to finish on the feet with strikes, so he'll probably go for the submission. Alex versus Diego Lopez, man. This is another fight that's tough to pick because I want to say Alexander Volkanovski by decision, straight up. That I feel like that's gonna be my pick, but Diego Lopez, man, he's live and everything, and he's always like he could be beating up by Gene Silva, and then he can just come back and just absolutely rock your head, bro. For the sake of the storybook ending, I honestly do think, like, if it goes to decision, we know how good Alexander Volkanovski is. I feel like if it goes to decision, Alexander is going to be the crafty veteran. He's going to, he's also fought Diego the first time. I feel like Volk, when it comes to fighting someone again, he usually learns pretty well, unless you're Islam or maybe that second Max fight. But Islam doesn't really count. That fight was on short notice. I expect a closer fight, but Alex is going to showcase why he's the veteran, why he's the GOAT of the featherweight division, and I still think he's going to retain that title. I don't think he's going to finish Diego Lopez, but I do think he's going to win by decision and then just retire the champion, which he deserves to do that. Please retire, Volk. We love you, man, and we know that that maybe that's not the best for you when that's not the best for you mentally because you don't like it and we don't want to see you like that. But man, for the sake of just not seeing you get hurt anymore and retaining your legendary status, please retire, Volk. We love you, man. So yeah, guys, those are my picks. I'll have some, like I said, I'll have some more official picks later down the line, but man, this card looks pretty good. Thank God we got our second straight week of UFC, man. I missed UFC. I hope we don't go through that drought ever again. Or, I say that, but then we're gonna get like straight Apex cards with like more Road to UFC fighters. But alrighty, guys. So thank you so much for watching. Good luck on your picks, and I'll see you soon for my official picks. Peace.